Peace, 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 family. My name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist, back with another video, back with another book review. Got a great book review for y'all today. Matter of fact, I got three books today. You know what I'm saying? So, got three good books we're gonna get into today, going into the ancient Sibyls. You know what I'm saying? Going into how the church and the church fathers stole the sacerdotal seat from the ancient black great mother. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we're gonna go into that today. I'm gonna go into the Sibyls, the great Sibyls of America, the great Sibyls of Africa, the great Sibyls around the globe, actually. You know what I'm saying? I want to kind of inform the people or the people that want to know about it. Go out and get these books that I'm gonna present today. You feel me? So I'm gonna go on and jump right on in. And also, I want to give a shout out to my man Marvin Cook. My brother been rocking with me since I first started my channel. He got his first reading from me a year ago. He got his second reading from me just a few days ago. It went great. Everything was awesome. So I want to shout out my brother Marvin Cook. He's been supporting me since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Been there with me, you know what I'm saying, commenting in my videos. You know what I'm saying? Brother just been supporting me since day one. So I got to shout that brother out, Marvin Cook, brother. I hope you're having a good day, bro, out there from Detroit, Michigan. Hope you're enjoying yourself, brother Marvin. Appreciate your support and everything you've been doing to help the channel, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, I'm gonna go into this first book, family. And this first book, I really like this book, family. Um, it's called The Sibyls, the first prophetess of Mama Wata. So I'm gonna put that on the screen so everybody can see that, because this is a must-have in your library if you want to understand about the Sibyls. And again, the Sibyls, like I said, the church fathers stole her seat. Uh, you know, they stole her seat. The ancient great black mama, they stole her seat. These church fathers and over there in the Vatican, and you know what I'm saying, they all came together but you know what I'm saying, they got to give it up. They got to give it up. Mama's coming. Mama's coming. They got to give it up. So yeah, this is the Sibyls, the first prophetess of Mama Wata, the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church. Author is Mama Zogbe, Vivian Hunter Hendrew, MED, Chief Hunun Amengansi. I hope I pronounced that right. But this book is a must-have in your library, family. And y'all know how I do. I'm gonna read something from the back, a little bit from the back, and then I'm gonna read a couple passages in here, and hopefully it triggers something in somebody out there to go get it, because this is a must-have if you want to understand how the great black mama or the black women, the woman ran everything. The woman ran everything, and her, you know what I'm saying, her sacerdotal seat was stolen. Period. And if you don't understand what the sacerdotal seat is, just look it up. You know what I'm saying? It'll go into all that. So this first book, The Sibyls, the first prophetess of Mama Wata, the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church. I guess she goes by the name Mama Zogbe, but her name is Vivian Hunter Hendrew, MED, Chief Hunun Amen Gansi. Get the book. It's worth having in your library, worth every penny, because you'll understand how they stole our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, our daughters' seat, because those in that seat don't belong there. It was stolen. But anyway, we're going to get to the book. And on the back of the book, it says, African women are the only women in the world whose ancient mothers were not born under the yoke of patriarchy. During ancient times, for the first 6,000 years, Africa was ruled by a powerful order of matriarchs. And when they say Africa, they have to include the Americas in here, because I got to put that in there, because just like they had powerful great matriarchs in Africa, they had them in America too. You know what I'm saying? Those stories are hidden and covered up, so we got to dig a lot of those stories up, which I have. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be a part of this video today. So, as I said, considering the current status of African women around the world today, one could hardly be convinced that her matriarchal presence and the enormous influence she wielded in the ancient world have far exceeded the limited physical, cultural, geographical, and political designations of which Africa and her religions are confined today. During her reign, African religions have reached very high levels of theological and ritual development and were the original spiritual home of the world's first great oracles, prophetess, and prophets. Under the rising tide of African patriarchy, the sacerdotal order of Sibyls were sold as slaves to build and work the powerful oracles they established in ancient Greece, Rome, Turkey, Babylon, Samaria, America, just to name a few. Just to name a few, because they were around the globe, family. What is now currently the holy seat of the Vatican in Italy was originally the sacerdotal seat of these ancient black Sibyl queen mothers. And this is facts. You know what I'm saying? Centuries before Christ, they were known to heal the sick, restore dignity, and strengthen the weak, and restore sight to the blind. They were famous for curing lameness, epileptics, deaf mutes, and lepers. They were said to cast out demons and even to raise up the dead. Their prophecies are the oldest and most authentic in the world. They were the basis for Greek and Roman tragedies and plays. More astonishing, their prophetic books were later collected by the Roman authorities who needed a Western theological foundation in order to compare with the powerful Levitical Jews. These Sybil prophecies soon became the sole and undisputed precursor to the Western Christian Bible as the first established sacerdotal African matriarchs. And you have to put the American matriarchs in there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I need to do, write a book and put the American matriarchs in there because they was there too. They was here too. Black women. I put that in there. Black women. But they weren't just black. They were all, they were melanated women, you know what I'm saying? It ain't all about the skin color, but truth is truth. You feel me? So, it says that the first established sacerdotal African matriarchs, the Sibyls' culture and religious impact was arguably the most profound on ancient civilization that modern history has ever revealed or cared to admit. From Mesopotamia to Libya, Mizraim, Kemet, Egypt, Ionia, Manoah, Peloponnese, Turkey, Mycenae, Greece, and later Rome and the Americas, the Sibyls were the primary divine, Vatican, and absolute moral authority. The absence of African women's or black women's or melanated women's contribution in world history as major economic, political, and spiritual players, as opposed to exceptions to the norm, are mere appendages of great men, has been problematic and disturbing at best. For the first time ever, her real history is being unearthed, revealed, and told. It is telling many shocking revelations that remain hidden for more than 2,000 years will finally be known. Family, get this book. This book is worth having in your library. Trust me, it's worth every penny. And what I'm finna read to y'all, let me get some water first. I'm getting thirsty, but what I'm finna read to y'all is, this is water, y'all. It's a green bottle. This is water. This is mountain water. So I know y'all see this green bottle. I ain't drinking no beer. This is water. Just want y'all to know. That good spring valley mountain water. You know what I'm saying? Sparkling water, real good stuff. But anyway, back to the information. I'm gonna read a little piece from in here, family. And it's called The Sacerdotal Matriarch of the Sibyls, and it's on page 27. So if you get the book, you know what I'm saying, you can read it for yourself. But it says by the 11th century CE, Turkish monk and world historian Cedrinus claimed that the Queen of Sheba was a Sibyl. Prior to Egypt's dynastic period, the civil and religious culture of these matriarch Sibs flourished in the Mediterranean world for more than 6,000 years. For centuries, the Grecian islands at Delos, Dodona, Delphi, and the Temple of Mami in Libya were the ecclesiastical and moral hub of religious, social, and international political activity. As the first established sacerdotal African matriarchs, the Sibyls cultural and religious impact was arguably the most profound on ancient civilization that history has ever revealed to care to admit. From Mesopotamia to Libya, Mizraim, Egypt, Kemet, Ionia, Manoa, Peloponnese, Turkey, Mycenae, Greece, and later Rome, and Americas, in the Americas, Sibyls were the primary, divine Vatican absolute moral authority. Just as their divine African mother, Mommy Isis, served as the first universal sacerdotal symbol of the divine celestial and terrestrial African ancestors, her worship as the manifestation of the Logos was continued in Asia Minor, Kushite Mitanni Empire, and in Manoa and Mycenae in the Aegean Islands. Archaeological pottery shards date the black descendants of the Libyan Garamantes, present day Iwe, Aladas, Ga Adangbe, if I pronounced that right, and other African clans who had settled into Babylon and elsewhere before the flood to have arrived in Manoa, Ionia, as early as 4000 BCE. In Manoa and Mycenae, later renamed Greece, it was under the theocratic governments of the Sibyls as queen mothers. The African matriarchal culture reached its golden age of achievement in medicine, religion, astronomy, philosophy, law, architecture, music, art, and social sophistication. Under the same matriarchal sacerdotal order, an era of high diplomacy, mutual cooperation, and peace ensured. The Sibyl clans were further divided into Sybyls, similar to the extended family villages. As Sybyls, they were the queen mothers and priestesses of their individual family totems and ancestral deities. Sybyls are an extension of the prehistoric African matriarchal custom of usually three major matrilineal clans joining their tutelary and ancestral deities together, forming loose confederations amounting to one clan unit. Individuals initiated into the mysteries were reborn as a Sibyl or a Pythias, the same way that they are reborn as a Mama Seal or a Amangansi in the Mami Wata Voodoo within their respective Sib, Ewe, Fan, Mina, Anlo, i.e., however, within the tradition they may be simply addressed as Ma, Nana, or Mama. Family, y'all got to get this book. This book got so much information in it. I'm just barely touching on, little pieces of it. You know what I'm saying? But those that know, you know what I'm saying? This book is a must-have in your library. And the pictures in here of the sisters that was ruling back then, man, look at that. Let me get that. We're going to document that on camera. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get a couple other images out of here. Oh, and let me read this to y'all too real quick, because I wanted to read this in the beginning, but I can read it real quick. It says, the Sybyls, the first prophetess of Mami, demystifying the absence of the African ancestors as the first divine prophetess on earth. It says, above is a medieval Roman catacomb illustrating a Mami Sibyl, priestess, Amengansi, reposed against the sacred ark Amphal, ancestress oracle. It is topped with an Amganto, first fruits offering to Mami. The Amphe is laced with a garland of mistletoe sacred to the African thunder god Zeus, or / Asclepius, Dionysus, or Bacchus. Resting in her hand is an Asclepius, the African ancestral oracular serpent. Emanating around her head is the golden nimbus, halo, a pre-Christian solar symbol representing her muse or avatar status. The feminine word, Radha, muse, masculine, Moses, is the exact same equivalent as Messiah, Savior, meaning bearers of divine truth and light. Additionally, the word Mago is the feminine counterpart to the masculine word Magi, meaning masters of the divine spirit and esoteric knowledge. The use of mermaid imagery in the Mami Wata Voodoo tradition has been a dominant feature since the beginning of time. The oldest representations of Isis, Mami, Atargatis, Awusa, Densa, Ishtar were that of a serpent, fish, and mermaid. During ancient times, African and Afro-Elamite matriarchal religions reached high levels of civilization, and its architecture, sacerdotal rites, elaborate vestments, and orgiastic celebrations covered the entire ancient world. They dominated the religious, political, and popular cultures of colonial and classical Greece and Rome. The prophecies and wisdom of the Sibyls and other African esoteric priesthoods were central to Christianity's ecclesiastical development, and Levitical Judaism's survival. After the militaristic defeat and decline of African patriarchal world hegemony, the Roman Church began to emerge as an imperialistic excuse me, inquisitional power. They then exploited and plagiarized the civil properties and usurped their sacred rights and Vatican seat of divine power in Italy. They credited their prophetic works, holy war against the Sibyls, later accusing them of Turian black heathenism, murdered African, and murdered, and they started to murder many of these persecuted, murdered African martyrs. The Sibyls and others were buried by their followers in these dark, musty tombs, their beloved entering late at night to offer food, drink, prayer, and song. The use of undergrounds in ancient Egyptian and Afro-Chaldean religious customs can be likened to the slave survival practices in America. They are an important historical glimpse into the socio-religious and political world of the Afro-Greco as they fought their religious and cultural survival. And that's a picture of what I just read, and the page is it's the first page of the book. And you see they depict her as a mermaid. You know what I'm saying? We thinking well, not we. Some of us think that these mermaids ain't real, but these mermaids just as real as me and you, and they really exist. And there's people that seen them, and there's videos on YouTube that speak about mermaids that have been seen. So family, go get this book. The Sybyls, the first prophetess of Mami Wata, the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot because we've been lied to about a whole lot. So if you get this book, it's going to open up a lot of stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some water real quick. I got a couple more books for y'all. Get a sip of this water. That's good stuff. Okay. The next book we got is Freemasonry and the Hidden Goddess by William Bond. This is a must-have in your library if you want to understand about what Freemasonry is all about, because it's not what we've been told. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. The title says it all. Freemasonry and the Hidden Goddess. And I'm going to read something from the back, like I always do, family. Y'all know how I always do. Maybe somebody go out and pick it up. Excuse me. It says, what are the origins of Freemasonry? What is their purpose? Even Freemasons themselves don't seem to know this and present many different theories on the origins of Freemasonry. Yet the origins and purpose of Freemasonry is clearly told in their symbolism, which this book clearly explains. Freemasonry symbolism points to their origins, go back to very ancient times when people still worship the Great Mother as the creatrix of our world. And their symbolism also suggests that their purpose is to keep alive this ancient religion and bring it back to our modern world. Family, it's already happening. It's already happening. The goddess is rising. The Great Mother is rising, and it can't be stopped. I got a video before this one. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's talking about her rise and her reemergence. It cannot be stopped. It's like an ant trying to stop a tidal wave. It just ain't gonna happen. She's rising. This system is crumbling all around us. It's crumbling. I know y'all see it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this book, The Goddess is Rising, and this book is showing you how she's rising. And let me read something from here. Let me read something inside the book. I ain't gonna give y'all too much. I'm gonna give you a nice couple little pieces out of here where hopefully somebody will go get the book. Because it's worth every penny, quarter and nickel. You see what I'm saying? Um, see, we ain't gonna go, we gonna go. I thought I had it marked what I wanted to read. Because I've been in this book real heavy. Um, let's see. Where was that I wanted to read? Okay, here we go. I want to talk about how they done changed up so much stuff in our culture. And it says another popular name for the devil is Lucifer, who was known as the light bringer. Now in Latin, Lucifer means morning star, and the morning star is Venus, named after a Roman goddess who was originally a tribal pre-Roman great mother in ancient times. In many cultures, planet Venus is named after goddesses like Ishtar, the Babylonian goddess, who is also known in Revelation in the Bible as the great whore or the mother of harlots. Interestingly, Jesus in the Revelation calls himself the bright morning star. Chapter 22, verse 16, suggesting that he is also Lucifer. And check that out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's in the book, page 79. And it says the word devil comes from the ancient Indo-European word Devi, which means goddess, and is still used in India today to mean both goddess and women. It is also from the word Devi we get the word divine and divinity. It is not unusual to have feminine words degraded in this way. Y'all remember that, family? That's how they degrade a lot of females, with words in this English language. And anyway, it says the word cunt is a swear word in our society, yet it comes from the goddess Kunti or Kunda. From this word comes the word kin, family, kind, and country. In the original medieval tarot pack, the devil card is shown as having female breasts and wide feminine hips. Only in later versions of the tarot does the devil become a male. This was also true of the Knights Templars, whom were also accused of worshiping an evil god called Baphomet. Yet pictures of this god show him to have female breasts. Some occultists, noticing this, claim that the devil and Baphomet were hermaphrodites. Yet this is not really shown on the devil's card in medieval tarot cards. Note, the fact that the devil seems to have female breasts, wide hips, and slim waist of a woman. In the past, many goddesses became hermaphrodites and then later became male gods. So hermaph so hermaphrodite deities existed during the changeover from matriarchy to patriarchy. Interesting, this is happening today in Christianity. At one time, it was strict dogma that the Christian God was a male father. Then in the 19th century, Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Science, used the term father and mother God in her book, Science and Health. And then there's another book, When God Was a Woman, by Merlin Stone. Check that book out, When God Was a Woman. And she says, then 100 years later, at the end of the 20th century, other Christian sects in the age of political correctness have taken up this idea and claim God has no gender. So I think you would get an argument if you suggested that their God was now a hermaphrodite. In such the same way, you would get an argument if you suggested that Christian women priests are priestesses. Another common name for the devil was Old Nick, and this name surprisingly came from St. Nicholas, the Christian version of Santa Claus for Father Christmas. In pre-Christian times, he was known as the Norse god Hold Nickar. But going back even farther, the name Hold was also known as Hel, who was a goddess. It was also from the goddess Hel that we get the Christian word Hel, and she was a goddess of the underworld. So this is another case of a goddess changing into a god. Another Norse god that became a devil was the god Loki. Like the male Set and or Osiris and many other sacrificial gods like Orpheus, Dionysus, Bacchus, Mithras, Pan, Odin, Bader, and the Gnostic Jesus, he sacrificed himself to the mother goddess. In earlier versions of the stories of Loki, he was a hermaphrodite god who was also a mother. And there's also a book I have by Geraldine Pinch. I can't think of the name of it. The author is Geraldine Pinch, which she says that Osiris in ancient times was worshipped as a mother goddess. Osiris was worshipped as a mother goddess. So that shows you how when patriarchal took over, they changed a lot of stuff from women to men. And you notice a lot of those priests in these churches wear them robes like dresses. They look like dresses because they're trying to imitate the women. They're trying to get the power that women had. The women had the real, and they'll never get it. They'll never get it. But anyway, back to the information. It says in the original no, I let's see, the Knights Templar, the female, and it says at one time it was strict dogma that the Christian God was a male father. No, I read that already. That's not where I was. Here it goes. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, y'all. I said it says another Norse god that became a devil. I think I read that too. Yeah, it says I'm gonna read that to go on to get to my point. Another Norse god that became a devil was the god Loki, like the male Set and or Osiris, and many other sacrificial gods like Orpheus, Dionysus, Bacchus, Mithras, Pan, Odin, Bader, and the Gnostic Jesus. He sacrificed himself to the mother goddess. In earlier version of the stories of Loki, he was a hermaphrodite god who was also a mother. It seemed that the gods who were originally goddesses are the ones who become devils in later patriarchal religions. So pay attention who they be calling these devils. Like I got that statue of Baphomet up there. You can see the female breasts on there, and ain't nothing evil about that. Matter of fact, it's liberating. If you study Baphomet, it'll liberate you from a few things. You know what I'm saying? So but anyway, it says the word demon means to Christians an evil spirit. Yet it comes from the Greek word daemon, that means simply the soul or guardian angel. So again, it was turned into something evil simply because it had pagan origins. The Gnostics have done a similar trick to Judaism. They call Jehovah the demiurge, who is a false god that has deceived mankind. So in effect, turning him into a sort of devil. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be careful with this devil thing, because even ancient cultures, when one ancient culture would take over another ancient culture, they would demonize it. They would take all that stuff, they would rob their libraries and rob all their stuff and take back the spoils with them, and then they would demonize them. But secretly use their stuff that they took and robbed and pillaged from. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing happening today. But this book is a must have in your library, family, if you want to understand Freemasonry. And a lot of people in the world, around the world, in high offices in government use Freemasonry, but they don't tell you about the goddess. The goddess is of the whole reason of Masonry, because Masonry, when you look at the word Masonry, that's just my son or Mary's son. If you look at the whole word, Masonry, that's if you take M-A and R-Y, that's Mary's son. Masonry, Mary's son. There's the goddess right there. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got to read and study and look into these things, right? And then I'm finna give y'all one last jewel. Finna give y'all one last jewel. Um, one last jewel. Um, let me see. And yeah, this is what I want to show y'all. Want to read to y'all. Let me get some water real quick. Okay. It says, I'm gonna show that because I have to show that because y'all might not believe me when I read it. It says weep, the end of patriarchy. Y'all see that, right? Page 111. Oh, triple one at that. Page 111, it says weep, the end of patriarchy. And that's what's happening right now, family. We are witnessing the end of patriarchy because it don't work. You know what I'm saying? We witnessing the end of racism, all that shit about to go. We witness it. Now, 25 is going to be a really tough year for some people, like I said, for some people. But for some people, they're going to shine in 25 because they've been doing the work. Like Bobby always used to say, do the work. You know what I'm saying? Bobby always say, do the work. In every book Bobby spit out his mouth, I went and got it because I wanted to know if what he was saying was true or not. That's how I know Bobby was the real deal Holyfield. That man had so much light, this world just couldn't contain it. But yeah, I appreciate the brother. I really appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate it. Um, now, this says weep, the end of patriarchy. Like I said, that's what we're going through right now. We watching we're going through the end of an era, and the rise of the goddess is happening, right? And it says the above drawing is called Weep and is a popular symbolic picture. At first glance, this picture can look very sinister. We have a weeping woman with the angel of death behind her playing with her hair. Does it suggest that the Grim Reaper, as he is also known, wants to have some sport with her before he kills her? One explanation I have read from a Mason is that the virgin, as she is called, is weeping over the death of Hiram Abiff. The open book represents the memory of his death. The plant in her hand represents the spring of Cassia grew from the place he was buried, and this was how his body was discovered. The urn represents his ashes, while the figure of the angel of death or Saturn represents time, because with patience and perseverance, everything will be accomplished. And you, like you said, time is an illusion anyway. You know what I'm saying? We done related down here, we done related time to a circle. You know what I'm saying? You ask a brother what time is, oh, it's around 12 o'clock. We don't relate it time to circle. Time don't even really exist. Time is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? So like it says, the angel of death or Saturn represents time because with patience and perseverance, everything will be accomplished. If we accept there is a hidden goddess in Freemasonry, we come up with different interpretation. And see, that's what I do. I study, I study, I study, I study. And that's who I'm trying to find. I'm looking for beings that study, not for people that try to look good, all that. I'm looking for beings that study. I'm looking for spiritual beings that came here to change this thing. That's who I'm looking for. You feel me? So, yeah, it says if we accept there's a hidden goddess in Freemasonry, we come up with a different interpretation. The pillar is a phallic symbol. The fact that it is broken suggests that masculine power has been destroyed. And although the woman in the picture is crying, it does suggest that it was she who pushed over and broke this pillar because it is broken at the height of her hands. So it seems to be about women destroying the power of men. You know what I'm saying? She has in her hand a book, an olive branch, and an urn. The book suggests knowledge. The olive branch suggests peace and reconciliation, while the urn suggests death, as it is where the ashes of dead people are put. But the urn, cup, or grill are also feminine symbols. Death is also represented in the figure standing behind the woman who is the Grim Reaper or the Angel of Death. This is symbolized by his scythe and hourglass. And that's how you recognize that it's Saturn as well, because Saturn is one of Saturn's symbol is the scythe. So yet again, the hourglass is a feminine symbol as it is women who have hourglass figures. He seems to consoling the crying women and doing her hair, which is a strange thing for a Grim Reaper to do. This book is probably a symbol of modern times. In the past, education was denied to women, but in the 20th century, women have been given the same rights as women for education. In our society, knowledge is power. So because women are better educated, they have obtained greater power in society. Women are different than men in that they are less competitive and aggressive. So this is shown in the symbol of the olive branch. Because women are less aggressive, it is easier for them to work together for the good of the whole. So these are the two great powers of women that can destroy the power of men. And that's something that we all can learn from what I just read. That's something that we all can learn from. Because everybody in this world had a mama. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in this world had a mama and got a sister, auntie, something. So yeah, it says I lost my where I was, but it says women are different. So these are the two great powers of women that destroy the power of men. The urn is a symbol of death, and is this is how men have ruled society, where rulers rule through violence or threats of violence. So the power to kill others has been the method of governments to keep the people in order and to protect themselves from other governments who wish to invade them. So the fact she now has death in her hands suggests that the power has been passed to her. Though the urn can represent other things like the death of patriarchy or the death of men's egos, which is needed for a new golden age to come into being, the Grim Reaper would also be a good representative of the power of men. Because men are so aggressive towards others, they fight each other in wars with bitter and better weapons. Today, these weapons have become so destructive that they are able to destroy whole of civilizations. So to have the Grim Reaper doing the hair of the woman suggests he is in some way serving her. So the whole image is about women destroying the power of men to the degree he is under her total control. And I'm gonna show that image again, family, what I just read. You see what I'm saying? And that's page 111. Interesting. That's page the triple one show up right there. So but yeah, but this is a good book. When I first got this book, it opened my eyes to a whole lot of stuff, family. It opened my eyes to a whole lot of stuff. So go out there and get the book again. Freemasonry and the Hidden Goddess by William Bond. Worth every dime, quarter, penny, and nickel. Trust me. Trust me. And then I got a real treat for y'all. This last one, y'all. This last one, Bobby turned me on to this book about shit. Man, about I don't know. Bobby about mentioned this book about maybe 15, 20 years ago. I can't remember. It might have been 2004, 2005, 2007, somewhere around there. But this book is a must-have in your library if you can find it. I'm gonna say that first. If you can find it. It's called The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real, Our Unconscious Sense and Their Uncommon Sense by Peter Redgrove, if you can find it. Bobby mentioned this book, like I said, man, 15, 20 years ago. And I've been on this book ever since. Still ain't grasped it totally, but I will. I will eventually grasp it. And I'm getting ready to start some book studies. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that watched this video and would like to join in on a book study, leave I would or I'm down or something in the just in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there got to be other people out there like me that like to love to read and love to study and want to know stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be other people out there like me. So yeah, if anybody want to start this, jump in on this book study with me, just leave in the description, not in the description, but in the comments like I'm down, or yeah, I'm definitely down for that. You know what I'm saying? So if I get enough people, if I just get to 15, 20 people, it's on. 10, even 10 people, it's on. You know what I'm saying? If I get 10 people to put in the comments, they down for book study, it's all and popping. You know what I'm saying? It'd be every Sunday evening or something like that when people ain't working, when they got time off. But we'll talk about it, figure it out. But yeah, this book right here, family, put it on the screen again so everybody can see it. The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real. This is a serious piece of work right here, family. And I'm gonna give y'all one little gem out of here because this book is gonna be hard to find. And somebody out there that find it that does go get this book, I know they real. I know they real because I know they real about studying and knowing this stuff. They're not playing with it because a lot of people just watch this stuff because it look good or it's popular right now. Shit, I've been doing this since it wasn't even popular when I started doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I started doing it because I just really wanted to know. I just wanted to know the truth. So family, I'm gonna read something from the back of the book, like I always do. The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real. In a virtuoso display of research, intuition, and invective, Redgrove knits together an arresting summary of the latest discoveries about the subliminal forces that shape the world and invoke us with it. Perhaps the most disturbing part of the book is the evidence he accumulates for the sensitivity to electromagnetic forces, which have polluted our mental physical atmosphere since Marconi and the sleight of hand by which the public was assured that these were harmless. Perhaps the most exciting part is the section of our old factory abilities, which Redgrove and others claim to be the lost sense. This book is a fascinating testament to the poet's fecundity of imagination. And then it says, um, an important, brave, and exciting exploration into territory that belongs to all of us, and nobody could read it without a sense of discovery. And I'm still discovering things about myself. You know what I'm saying? So, from this book, so books can transform you. I don't care what nobody say. And I know all knowledge ain't in books. That's not what I'm saying. I want you to listen to what I'm saying very carefully. Excuse me. I'm saying books can transform you. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying all knowledge is in books, because like I said, you can channel knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of knowledge just downloaded in a dream to me before. So I know it ain't all in books, but I'm saying books are a damn good start, family. Don't let nobody fool you. Please don't let nobody fool you. Okay, now this, some people may not have heard this before what I'm about to read, but if you get the book, it's on page 128. And I'm just gonna read this little piece and then I'm gonna end the video after this. You know what I'm saying? But this gem I had to share. I had to share it. I'm gonna show the book one more time. I'll put it on screen so you can see it. Because it's gonna be hard to get. I don't even know if it's still in print. It might have came back in print. I don't know. Because sometimes these books go in and out of print. They go out and they come back in. But this book is worth having. So it says, this is about the Charis. And we heard about the Christ, but this is about the Charis. This is about the female Christ. See, don't nobody be speaking of, you don't hear nobody talking about the female Christ. You hear people talking about the Christ, Jesus, Horus, Dionysus and all them, but you don't never hear nobody talking about the female Christ. This is about the Charis, the female Christ. And there is such a thing. So everybody looking for a Christ to be a man. Christ could be a woman as well. Or you know what I'm saying? Christ could be a man or a woman. It's a consciousness that's achieved to become Christ. It's not a certain person, it's a consciousness. But anyway, let's go. It says Charis was the name of the female Christ of the Gnostics, whose natural blood of menstruation was held to redeem mankind. Massey says, the blood of Charis preceded the blood of Christ, and but for the purification by the blood of Charis, there would have been no doctrine of the purification of souls by the blood of Christ. The Eucharist was a celebration of Charis before it was assigned to the Christ. These experiences are clearly continuous with the Pentecostal inspiration. Thus, the Gnostic Marcus says, behold, Charis has descended upon thee. Open thy mouth and prophesy. Open thy mouth and thou shalt prophesy. The reader will have noted the Christ-like imagery of the fruit and the vine in the passage above, where the wisdom is declaring herself, and the reversal of the New Testament image of the living water that quenches all thirst, which must be the water of death, and that he who partakes of wisdom desires more. It is clear now why wisdom is also a tree. The same tree of knowledge that supplied the fruit which damned the primal pair in the Genesis is the tree of wisdom in the Apocrypha. It is only in the Judeo-Christian mythology that the snake is evil and the tree dangerous. Greek and Sumerian Edens are paradises of trees, haunted by oracular serpents. Eden in these and Renaissance mythology stand for the littoral or in-between zone joining this world and that one, the interface of the continuum. All this seems fable if the how is missing, but we know more of the how. Science subverting its orthodoxy has shown us how we may believe in wonders that everybody experiences, but which, as with the Romantic movement, are not developed because there are no explanations of how, and so one becomes incredulous, right? With Trinic, we can see how this symbol of the Mysterium Conjunctionis passes into living reality because the how is there. There is bioelectricity, and the progress of a storm out of the desert can so affect people's mind that in one state they are ill or in another more harmonious state. They may prophesy as in the magic circle or at Pentecost. We can see how St. Gregory of Nyssa could experience the unconsuming fire of his own chi. He said that one may become related to that which is without weight, light, and aerial. He then who has made his soul dry like the spider has put on his aerial tunic. It extends from the head to extremity of the feet. Bam. That's it, family. You know what I'm saying? The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real. I mean, this book brought me up to a whole nother level, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is a treat. You know what I'm saying? And I've got my Bobby Hemmett shirt on today. You feel me? So I thought I'd share this treat Bobby shared with me a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Because this is definitely worth your every dime, penny, and nickel. But if you can find it, because I'm not sure if it's out of print or not. You know what I'm saying? And I paid a pretty penny for it, but like I said, it was worth every penny. And for me, that's where most of my money goes towards books and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I don't really spend it on much other stuff besides necessities. You feel me? But I go and get these books though. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know. And you know what the saying is: if you want to hide something from a black man, just put it in a book because he ain't gonna read it. That ain't true for this black man because I'm gonna read it and then some. I'm gonna read that and then some. But yeah, family, go out and get the book. My name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. If you would like a read from me, hit me up. I'll leave my description down in the description box. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.